What's going on, traders? Welcome to a special Wednesday with an I stock market review by your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom. I have a really exceptionally exciting announcement in this webinar and in this recording and in this stock market review. So stay tuned until the middle. I got a big story. I'm pumped. Traders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy, Jeremy Alexander Newsom. Yes, I'm excited. I have a lot of things to talk about today, and I want to dive right in. First and foremost, the SPY just hanging out. I do kind of like the lower shadow that came in today. A really beautiful close. I mean, closing right on the 20 is very nice. So realistically, at this point, I just kind of think we're going to keep slowly chopping around, maybe meander down into here, into the 200 and the 50. But just bounce around for most of April, potentially May and June. It's going to get a little choppy, slow down a bit more, relax, and that's why I got into this covered call up here for June with some protective puts down here as a just in case. And that's pretty much it. So just letting SPY hang out, do its thing. The rest of the indices and the ETFs, we're just going to kind of wait on. I mean, the Qs, my buddy Robert Falco sold a 172.50 put sale for next Friday, which is right at the 200 simple moving average. And again, I actually do like the lower shadow today, right off the 20. I still think we can easily continue higher. Just overall, the trend is bullish, no question. Just keeping an eye out for a little bit of a grind to come into play. What I did do today is I updated all of this in TradingView for those who follow, but we had a really nice bearish entry on IRobot. This was set up on the, well, I forget the exact day. Let me open this up. I forget the exact day. It was either on the 22nd or the 25th. I'm pretty sure it was the 22nd, that Friday, is when we set the trade up just to get in on the pullback with the stop up here. And it was a quick counter trend trade, pretty much entirely based off of volume and this candle that came in on the 19th of March. But this was it right here. IRobot, yep, right here. So 101 views on IRBT with some shares. That was the setup, and got in, got out today. Got out a little bit early. Probably could have kept going lower, but the reason I got out is because March, the end of March, is quickly approaching. And I was up on IRobot. We were also up on MGM Resorts International. That was a trade setup that we also posted over here in TradingView. So both MGM, which is right here, and IRobot were posted, both of them on Friday of last week. So those two worked out. And the reason I closed those out is because CREE wasn't working, although it could have, and I probably could have closed out both winners and just kept holding on to this loser just in case. It just really wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And the ironic part is it probably does bounce from here because I love this trend, and it's just too bad, I guess. So ACB, we also had some calls on Aurora Cannabis. These were April $8 calls that we bought for 70 cents. And they were worth $2.50 up here. Well, $2.40 actually on the 19th of March. A lot of traders exiting there. For the rest, fully out of ACB as of this exact moment in time. It didn't hit the 1154 target, and that's absolutely okay. But check out CGC. Now, you also want to hear something cool. This was the analysis on CGC that I did on the 20th of March. Next on the list is CGC. And CGC threw in a little bit of an upper shadow today. Decent volume. If for some reason Canopy Growth ever gaps above the high of today's candle, it'd probably be a pretty bullish gap. Victor has bought back his put sale. We talked about that yesterday. Diane sells her put sale. We have not closed above this triangle. I personally think it's about to do this. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say that, but everyone and their mom was talking about Canopy Growth today being bullish and breaking out. And that, to me, says the market's going to trap everybody. Whew! holla at your boy, ladies and gentlemen. That afternoon room, I'm telling you, we put a lot of time and effort and research and analysis into some of these stocks. So CGC breaking down a little bit, just enough to trap people. I don't know exactly how far it goes down, but per Mr. Squiggles, this should be the exact bottom. Now, the good news is, if it isn't, and we gap down or close or start breaking the low of today, then we will be going lower on Canopy Growth. We have some traders who have some put sales down here who don't really mind getting put some shares of Canopy Growth way down there at 35 and 32.50. Here's how it looks on the weekly chart. And again, if we do come back down into this $26, $27 area, kind of worst case scenario, I think that would actually be really a good thing. Speaking of that, let me go ahead and hop into the big announcement, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you have already heard, but per the email that I sent out not too long ago, the paperback edition is out. Paperback edition is out. It is in stock. It is in stores on Amazon.com. I will include the link for my very first book of all time, Money Grows on Trees, How to Reshape Your Thoughts, Beliefs, and Ideals About Money and Become Truly Wealthy. The Kindle is also available, so if you prefer it on Kindle, you can check it out on Kindle as well. Kindle and paperback. Why does it say just paperback? Give me 3 seconds. Kindle store. That's a tricky one. You got to keep an eye on that. Money Grows on Trees, Jeremy Newsom. So if I click on Kindle store, where is it? There it is. So there's the Kindle edition. You're welcome to check it out if you want to. If you want it on Kindle or if you want it on paperback, either one, feel free to rock it out and spread the love. Woo! I am fired up. Woo! How exciting is that? Yes, you know what time it is, my friends. I'm hungry. I want to help people. I want to enrich lives. I want people to grow. I want them to get better at this thing. Slowly but surely, we will begin winning together over time, helping people, growing, paying off debts, traveling, doing the things that you want to do. Man, I'm fired up. Thank you for being a part of it. Make sure you get that book right now. I promise it will impact your life in a positive way. All right, back to the stock review. All right. So let's dive back into some of the charts, and thank you again, just everyone, for your love and your support and your generosity. It's been an incredible experience to receive all those things. Let's go look at some trades that we played today in the day trading room. Here's a trade that we took on Square, ticker symbol SQ, and Square pulling back a little bit today. What's interesting on Square on this chart is I actually could see tons of reasons and rationale why Square could come into the 60s, the low 60s. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's possible. And if it does, I think a lot of us will be excited about it. The 100 simple moving average on the weekly is 52.06. I actually, personally, would love Square to do this. I don't know if it will, but I'm just saying if it does, I'm all about that. The daily chart, we did throw in a little bit of a lower shadow, kind of bouncing off the 50. We went long on Square today, believe it or not, and that was entirely based on this volume right here, March 20 at 11:30 Central. Based on that volume, you got this small bearish candle, this bullish candle. Here's your intraday retest gap, and our setup was 72.32 by 71.82, which was 50 cents of risk. And that was a nice, cute little trade. So 50 cents of risk, this is 50 cents of a gain right here. As crazy as that sounds, that's an R on Square. And Clive and Diane and Donna and a few other traders, Nicole, did really well, made some gains on Square from that particular trade. So again, just a nice little 50-cent risk based purely on volume. The video did come out about volume not too long ago. If you want to check it out, you can hop over to reallifetrain.com and click on this bad boy right here, how to properly interpret volume. It's also under recent videos, however you want to check it out. But you can click on that. About an hour and a half long video, and just talking a lot about volume and how you can use it. You could have used volume to play Shoe Carnival as well. Shoe Carnival was a wonderful fade, and this is one that on the daily chart was up 23% or so. The gap up was a massive, massive gap. It was a bullish gap and go, I agree. But it was up just so far, and it's Shoe Carnival. So, it's Shoe Carnival. It's a dividend-paying stock, believe it or not. So with that gap up, I was looking for a fade. So I want to give a shout-out to Joe Sidoti, who played himself Shoe Carnival bullish down here somewhere and got out right here when it made that new high. Because, Shoe Carnival had, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white candles in a row. Then you get a doji. Then you get a big bearish candle. And then right after that big bearish candle is a really nice bullish candle with increasing volume. And then we immediately take out the low of that candle. So that's the bearish signal on Shoe Carnival. That's how I played it. Entry 37 even with a stop at 37.81 and exited a quarter down there and then trailed the stop and all is good. So 0.3R gain on Shoe Carnival and exited IRobot today, exited MGM, exited ACB. All three of those were profitable and took the loss on CREE that I talked about. Probably got out of that one a little bit too early, but the next one I'm keeping an eye on is KEG. Missed this one today by 6 pennies. So we had an entry at the entry specifically to get in on this one was 374. The low of today was 380. So I might have to cancel Key Energy Services and see if I can get in on a pullback. But as of right now, it's that trade is open, and then ticker symbol WP. World play. I had mentioned, I think yesterday, that if WP does not take out this bullish volume by end of day Friday, so we got 2 more days. If we don't close below there, I'll either exit or I'll lower my stop and just take a small potential loss on world play. This weekly chart just looks a little too extended, and I'm not insanely bearish by any means, but you just had this huge run up. And it just needs a little bit of a pullback. Kind of like what Roku did. Roku did and is doing. So Roku, I am specifically relatively bearish on Roku with an 85.90 bear call spread expiring in April. I'm actually going to be buying that one back probably Friday to lock in the gain and pretty much size up a nice nice overall gain for the month. Last but not least, for my option fans, hopping into an Iron Condor on Facebook, 177.50, 180 bear call spread, and then the 152, 150 bull put spread. That is April 18th, 2019 for 45 cents. That's pretty much it. I think Facebook's going to kind of trade sideways because it's above the 100 and 200 simple on the daily, but it's below the 100 simple on the weekly. It's above the 10, the 20, and the 50 on the weekly, and it's kind of in the middle of, well, technically it did close today below the 10 and the 20 on the daily, but it's above the 50. So I'm thinking just some overall sideways movement on Facebook. That's really not a bad Iron Condor, right around 20% return, and that would be for about 4 weeks of work. So keeping a close eye on that one, but realistically, I'm just expecting Facebook to hopefully just kind of grind and chop around and trade sideways. That's pretty much it. Didn't really have any requests for today. But before I go, you might all remember that we had the goal to fully fill up this But before I go, you might remember that we had the goal to fully fill up and fund this particular classroom from Mundelein, Illinois, Mrs. Putt's class. 4 donors, $260, fully completed. Boys and girls, we have 2 of these left for the month of March. Make sure to finish strong. We've done an incredible job so far. So here we go. The second to the last one. This is it. Another one from Mundelein, Illinois, $438 needed. 2 donors so far, and we can get this one done, ladies and gentlemen, before Friday if we all team up. So much money out there. Let's help give some around, spread some around. This one will be filled up before the stock review on Friday, where we will have our last one for the month. Speaking of, the RLT kids classes are on the website. If you want them, they are all here. So there's class 3, there's class 2, and there's going to be, and here's class 1 right here. So class 3, class 2, class 1. They're all here. They're all on the website. Feel free to share them with your children, your grandchildren, your loved ones, the youth that you find beneficial. So much goodness, so much greatness. Thank you for being a part of it, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.